let me get some legal views. Though we do not have the judgment, the details of the judgment, but let's get a view of what has happened today and the implications to our judiciary system in Nigeria. I have Mr. Sonny Awonuga who joins us here. Thank you so much, Mr. Awonuga,
Thank you for
joining
having
us.
me.
Not so much to chew, legally speaking, because we do not have the details, but if you see the composition of the panel today and the fact that some people say we do not know them before today, what are your views? Is it custom practice within the frame of the Apex Court practice? Is it normal custom practice?
Perfectly, you are not supposed to know the composition of a panel. Now, it's when you get to court, that's assuming you are even familiar with the judges, you know, oh, this is judge this, judge that, but there is no such tradition or requirement that makes it necessary or by tradition that names of judges who will sit in a matter before the Supreme Court are already known beforehand. And that's where this aura comes in under all, because it's the final court. It's just like talking about security. Once these things are on the table, it has no element of a respect.
Is there anything unusual that you saw today?
Nothing. Now, like even just Mr. Oshomole pointed out, even though he's not a lawyer, it's only the Supreme Court that has the power to deliver a judgment or ruling and give reasons later.
In the first sitting?
At any time.
Because they have the brief already.
They have, and like the CJ mentioned, for the last 2 weeks, they've been going through this thing back and forth. It means they wanted to convince themselves before disposing of the appeal that we hope there is nothing that we haven't seen here, no matter time. Because in the Electoral Act, what it says is that all these things they brought in, unless it substantially affects or will have affected the outcome of the election, that's when the court will sustain it. Don't forget that the court is mindful of the fact that nowhere in the world is any election perfect, even in the same America that gave us this. And it is the will of the people that they are adjudicating on. There was an electoral body, INEC, who conducted this election. So theirs is to check within the ambit of the law to see whether what is being brought before them. Because you always remember that they say, oh, from the evidence before us. The most important thing is, I think the element of facts was probably not too focused on by the other side. They put in too much emphasis on technical things, oh, server, ICT, all these things. No, the important thing is, let it be so clear to everyone that, oh, this election was riddled with malpractices.
Mr. Awonuga.
Yes, please.
This is not the first time where we're seeing that the presidential election petition has gone to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
In the history of our litigation in this country, what comes out to you from the statement of the Supreme Court today that this lacks merit? Have we heard it before?
Yes, when they say it lacks merit, you see, like I said, there are grounds. When you are bringing this, you should have that in mind. It's not like going for a tea party. Now, for instance, someone has been voted in. And from what we can see, it's a diverse thing. There are about 36 states. So for you to be able to know what they don't know, you need to present it before them.
And you need to prove it.
And exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I say from the evidence, because it's possible. No one is saying that probably, for instance, oh, there were no irregularities or nothing like that. But from the evidence before the court could not see anything that would convince them to say that, oh, this petition, yes, has merit, therefore we're going to sustain it either with other fresh elections or with declare this other person as the winner.
If you let's bring it home now and in a few seconds, Mr. Awonuga.
Yes.
I love the fact that the way you're describing and the manner in which you're explaining it to Nigerians.
Yes.
But if you are to advise on the best ways to go in electoral litigation or electoral law, what do you think is best for us to adopt going forward?
Well, I think, unfortunately, like I have said and other people have said too, the Electoral Act, which the president failed to accent to, will have taken care of most of these things, because there are so many loopholes and lacunas there, which makes it very, very, very difficult for any petitioner to ever win an election. And if I may quote even the second most senior judge of the Supreme Court, speaking from experience, that's Justice Rose Rival, he was saying it's always a very, very hard task. It didn't say impossible for a petitioner to come to court and prove electoral irregularity because it's a big burden. It's not impossible. It
And
is
the burden
impossible.
of proof is
Yes.
on the petitioner.
It's on the petitioner. So
Well-
you don't come to court and like just, oh, this is and that. Because they are aware that this person was voted for is the president.
We need to
of the
analyze the
federation.
details when we need to know what is happening. When the Supreme Court brings out the details, you should come back and let's talk more about this.
I will.
Mr. Awonuga, it's a
Thank
pleasure
you. Thank
to
you for
having
having
you
me
tonight.
here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Mr.
Yes.
Sonia Awonuga, a lawyer based in Lagos, giving us experience on, explanation on what has happened today. But that's our show for tonight. I hope that you've gotten some bit of enjoyment and education out of it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Bye-bye.